Alright everybody, welcome to another edition of Trey Draws. This is of Royal Street down in New Orleans. This particular spot is right across from the gallery where I'm represented. Anyway, today I will be drawing with a pen with a refillable ink cartridges. The nib I'm using is a very fine nib. And before I start, I like to test it out and see if it's running smoothly. So the sketchbook I'm using is a spiral bound. This works great for drawing in sort of bars and live areas because you can just put the excess pages behind you and you don't have to worry about it. So right now I'm drawing the railing and trying to get the profile of this building. I don't really have the reference anymore, so we're just going to try it this way. So here is the doorway up on the balcony area. You can see the little hinges there and the door. I'm putting in the shutters now. And the railing is really, really neat. A lot of the cool stuff in New Orleans to draw is the railing. I kind of think of it like lingerie lace or something. It just has this great sort of border around the streets and stuff, just like ornamentation. And so usually while I was living in New Orleans, I'd bike up to the gallery, the Elliott Gallery on Toulouse and Royal, and that's right where this is at. I'd sit and talk and have coffee and think about what to draw, and usually I'd have a huge pad and prop it up on my bike, and I would draw just for the whole day and just draw people overlapping on top of the drawings I was doing. And I would just sort of end up with this tapestry of this quilted drawing that would end up being really cool. And I would sort of bring out different shapes throughout the day and bring a focal point to the sort of static madness of the drawing. But these little sketchbook drawings are just sort of quick realizations of a moment, almost. That's how I kind of see them. They're sort of preparations of a larger drawing. And as this channel keeps growing, I will post different videos of different sizes of drawings and stuff like that, so please stay tuned for more of that. So you can see here, this is sort of a Mercedes I'm drawing, this car here. It helps to put the perspective back towards that street there on Toulouse. And to the right, the sort of secondary images of the drawing, there are these sides of the buildings here, and there's sort of a little alleyway there where you can see the dark shadows of the doors and stuff. And it's easy in New Orleans to just sort of add people and add little embellishments of the architecture if you want to add more interest to certain parts of the drawing. And the overhangs have a lot of personality in New Orleans, where a lot of the old ironwork is still there from hundreds of years ago. Sort of the balcony architecture tells a lot of the stories and stuff. Now here I'm using a pencil back and forth with the pen. I think it adds a great mid-tone, obviously, with the charcoal, or the graphite, excuse me. So I'm using a thicker pen here, and this is to do a foreground image of a person riding on a bike. Now I've referenced this just on a Google search of people riding bike in New Orleans, and I thought that this would be a good idea to put in the image anyway, so that's why I sort of needed a sort of landmark to draw from. But I would draw this anyway if somebody roared past me on the bike and I thought that would look cool. I would try to put it in there as fast as possible anyway. So with this dark pen, I'm bringing out the darks of the windows, the shutters there, and the railing. It helps bring it forward and bring stuff to the background as well, adding more depth to the piece. And the graphite is really cool because you can get it wet and sort of have it transform into a whole different thing, or you can smudge it in with your fingers. One thing when you're drawing on Royal Street all day and selling artwork is the hot dog guys come out at about 4 o'clock or so, and they have to push this huge burden of this hot dog cart, and they're typically going to Bourbon Street, and it's great watching them sort of maneuver this damn huge hot dog cart. And sometimes the drunks get in the way, and I've seen a bunch of fist fights and stuff. It's really entertaining. So this guy's carrying a guitar case. He's likely a busker going either to St. Louis or right here on Toulouse. They busk right there. And they get a crowd growing usually. So here the drawing's getting fleshed out big time with different darks and stuff, sort of filling in the lines, the shapes that the contours make. So as an illustrator, it's great to use spot color on a black and white or gray image. You can sort of draw interest and tell a story just through visual color or lack thereof. So this could obviously be an advertisement for the blue bikes, which would be cool. But so this is pretty much it. Typically I would just take this out and give it to the gallery, and they'd either frame it or it would sell that day, or sometimes I'd go to the art markets, frame them and sell them that night, or even trade them for a drink tab at a bar or something. So, yeah, that's sort of a visual journal of those moments in the day for me. So, if you're interested, please leave a comment or a like or subscribe. I hope to keep this channel going, as I will. And thank you all for watching.